Good morning, Mr. Jose Ignacio Pradas.
Good morning, Ali.
Welcome to the Inners. We are here at Fira Barcelona, and we're going to discuss your background and your role as the director of ICEX, which is the Spanish Institute for Foreign Trade and the Trade Support Office for all of the international business Spain does with the outside world. So can you please take us through the journey of your background and how you got to the position of being the director of ICEX?
Good morning, Ali. Thank you for letting me the opportunity to explain what ICEX can do for the development of the Spanish economy, the internationalization of Spanish enterprises, and the attraction of foreign direct investment. ICEX, I'm myself an industrial engineer. I was graduated by the Polytechnical University of Madrid, and I was also, and after graduation, I did an internship in Milan, in Italy, with ICEX, supported by ICEX, and that's why I started my involvement with ICEX. I started there. I studied the policy of Italy to support aid to development and particularly to the engineering industries. And on my return, I joined ICEX as head of sector for promotion of the engineering industries, including the building sector, the building industry. And in the end, I entered into the administration, into the Spanish government, and I worked for the Ministry of Industry. I worked for always first of all at the Bureau of Studies, dealing with industrial policy, promoting the competitiveness of the industry, of the Spanish economy, of the Spanish manufacturing sectors particularly, and in the end always related to the international aspects of the Spanish economy, and particularly the industry, with Spain as an European Union member state has been the driving force of my career somehow. And since 5 years, I was posted in Barcelona, in Catalonia, to become the regional director for trade to Catalonia. The delegate of the Secretary of State for Trade, and here I am in collaboration with Fira de Barcelona as a key partner to develop the internationalization of the Spanish economy, not only the Catalonian enterprises, but all the Spanish industries, and here in Construmat particularly.
Amazing, what a journey. This is very inspirational and admirable, and especially that it's on a very high level and doing good and support to many industries, many businesses, many companies that goes beyond borders to many countries and many stakeholders. So what does ICEX do to support Spanish manufacturers or service providers?
ICEX, as the Spanish Trade Support Organization, provides mainly information, instruments of promotion, of support to the internationalization of Spanish companies, and there is and finance, and information provided to finance. And there is a fourth pillar, which is the attraction of foreign direct investment.
That is also very powerful because it goes both ways always.
That's right. So we have to understand that the sophistication of trade has increased. The trade has flows in two directions, and even in different directions. There are combinations of different agents involved, and that's why the competitiveness of the Spanish economy does not depend only on the promotion of exports, also on a smart policy, on a smart strategy for purchases, and the global supply chains have been, the complexity of supply global chains encourage us, ICEX, to stimulate the Spanish companies to go abroad to import or to purchase more sophisticated and more added value at an affordable price components, and also to promote the internationalization not only of exports, to the internationalization of Spanish companies to invest and to create affiliates abroad.
Mm-hmm. The sector, actually the world is going through a lot of changes and very fast, and especially in the last decade with the internet, digitalization, and everything that comes with it. And this, of course, affects the sector of building materials and construction and design as well. So how do you anticipate and adapt to these new requirements and changes?
We are providers, we are facilitators as governmental agency for internationalization. That means that we monitor these trends that you mentioned, the accelerated technological change, which has been accelerated due to digitization. There are a lot of ICTs which are already implemented in the building sector. For example, the possible 3D printed materials,
of course,
is part of this digitization as well. It should be the use of BIM. We will elaborate on that. But we try to assist Spanish companies to promote their capacities, even in this case of the horizontal and cross-cutting technologies, by attending to the most relevant trade fairs and the most relevant fora. We also promote the idea of to adapt to assist the Spanish companies to this. We have detected that the supply chains has become shorter, and which means that there is a possibility, there is an opportunity for the companies to invest in Spain for the Spanish customers, and we think that is for the European Union market, at the level of the European Union market. We also, in this sense, Construmat can be regarded as the best platform to approach not only to the Spanish market for foreign companies, but also to the European Union market. It's very important, this idea.
So, Jose, we'd like to know more from your point of view about the perception in the world regarding the Spanish brand Marca España, made in Spain and made in Barcelona and Catalonia, and also the role of Construmat being the leader construction fair and exhibition to promote this sector.
The brand Spain, as a technological country, as a developed country, has improved and has significantly gained market share in the world trade. This is due to the investment on R&D of all sectors. Cross-cutting is a cross-cutting trend, and particularly in the building industry, in the construction industry. Spain has proved a lot of high-tech projects. It's the second biggest network of high-speed trains, for example.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. The quality of some of the events, like the stadiums. I mean, the Real Madrid stadium now in Barcelona, the new stadium, which is an ongoing project for Barcelona. So we build a lot of facilities with the Olympic Games. This was in 1992, but from that moment, from 1992, we managed to develop a lot of projects of high tech in the construction sector. So in the end, this has applied to a lot of sectors, jointly with design. In this case, Barcelona and the design are doing are a twinning idea which has developed a lot of business models in which success stories is beyond, and particularly in architecture. Gaudi is one of the most recognized architects in the world, absolutely. So, and this attracts, and the Art Nouveau, the modernism, is part of is in the air of the city, this marvelous city. So it's not only a question of design, of art, it's also a question of technology, and I believe that Barcelona and Construmat magically merges both aspects.
Indeed it does. And everyone who has been here was inspired and impressed, whether they are in the industry or not, by the innovation and the art. But behind it, there's of course a lot of technology and a lot of know-how and knowledge and specialization in certain topics. And also, it's been, I think, one of the pioneers and leader countries, Spain and Barcelona in particular, when it comes to sustainability and caring about the environment. So how do you see the sector taking the next steps to embrace the care of our planet?
I think that you have mentioned a very relevant word, sustainability, which applies to all sectors, but particularly construction. The percentage of emissions associated to housing and to building and lodging is very relevant. Transport is the biggest sector, but second is housing and all related to building. That's why there is an initiative established by the building and the construction industries related to reduce the energy consumption, and this is from the design. So in this case, the construction industry is pioneer of eco-design. The idea of the design from the very beginning, with taking into account the necessity of saving energy consumption associated to living a space. And this is taking into account also BIM as a technique, and for that the Spanish manufacturers are certified to do so in all sectors related to for concrete, also tiles, of course, which are very consuming, and also for others related to design, from furniture, from also related to windows and the rest of the products, construction products.
Exactly. Mr. Jose, I would like to know about your opinion and take when it comes to smart cities.
Well, the number of people in the world living in cities has grown intensely for the last decades, and it will be growing and growing. So this is a key point, because the population will be dealing with housing and offices and infrastructure related to cities, and that's why smart cities is compulsory, we can say, just to make cities smarter.
I'm sorry, but I would have to interrupt and ask you, what is a smart city? How do you define it?
You have mentioned a key point related to building industry. Is the idea of the city, because the trend in the world for urbanization, for the number of people dwelling in cities has increased for the last decades, and particularly the trend will be higher and higher. So that will press the world and the city, the environment of the city, to create more efficient environments, and in interaction in all senses, in interactions, in relation with infrastructure, the people in the houses, the people in relation at work, the gardening. So in that sense, smart would be, in my view, it's not that before we were dull or we were not smart or intelligent. It means that to create a more efficient infrastructure, more efficient processes, and this is between people and machines,
Okay.
and in the infrastructure, the management of infrastructure. So in the way that the traffic can be more efficient, less pollutant, therefore that the people can employ their time in a more efficient way.
Very interesting. I would like to ask you if you can tell us about a couple of examples, whether it's smart city or some of the Spanish innovative companies had made an impact in solving certain problems that drove the world to become a better place.
I think that Spain is pioneer in the idea in the area of smart cities. Not that we have to admit that Barcelona hosts the biggest event in smart cities every year, every November. So I would say that, for example, we have different branches, verticals, in which Spanish companies have been pioneer, Spanish cities have been pioneer. For example, in traffic management, in the traffic management, in the case of Santander, here are also related to environment. They have created a very powerful tool to improve, to monitor the pollution, and to provide information how to make more efficient the movement of the people.
Okay.
There is also a very vertical, the so-called smart tourist destinations, in which Spain is pioneer. We have developed standards to qualify cities or destinations, tourist destinations, to become smart. So we have also, there is a network of Spanish smart cities, and this has created an economies of a scale, of economies of a scope, in which solutions can be shared, and the core of the IT solution is similar, and only the localization is tailor-made. So we have created such a success story related to this smart city network.
Impressive. And has this been accelerated more with now the availability and use of AI?
Not yet. I mean, we are in the process related. AI is artificial intelligence has arrived to be implemented, and therefore we will develop models in which citizens all over the world will benefit from this experience. I don't think it will be local, quite the opposite, will be global.
Very interesting. I would like to talk more about the role and the importance of Construmat, a little bit of the history and how it grew to become the leader exhibition in the design and building materials sector.
Construmat is a brand, and that's why ICEX is here participating at the organizing committee and promoting the participation of Spanish companies, trying to develop the attraction of more international visitors to make Construmat the big event, which already is, but become bigger. In that sense, we provide to make Construmat more international. We expect to organize workshops in which internationalization is the topic, is the main topic, and providing success stories of international business cases.
The markets of the Middle East, and especially United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, with all of these innovative mega projects, and what's happening also in the region, what happened recently in Qatar with the FIFA World Cup and Dubai Expo. There's a huge demand and huge growth trend, and also interest for innovative solution. So what's the link between ICEX, Construmat, and the Middle East?
As you mentioned, Middle East is a market of interest, definitely, for the most value-added companies in the construction sector, and quite we have quite significant success stories like the high-speed train from Mecca Medina.
Correct.
And with defeating, proving that the Spanish technology is reliable and is profitable and is competitive. This was one example, but there are others which will be implemented. And ICEX normally what does is identify the key players in these big events that you mentioned. So we are ready, and we have that in schedule to identify the biggest event and to stimulate and to facilitate the Spanish companies to be aware of the opportunities developed by these big events.
As you mentioned, the Middle East is very attractive and interesting market, and especially because it shares a lot of values and direction for growth and innovation with a Spanish mindset. Mm-hmm. So what about the presence of ICEX in the Middle East and the rest of the world?
Thank you for asking me this question, because it's very relevant. We have our most profitable tool is our extensive network of trades offices all over the world in 5 continents. And we have an extensive network in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait. So it means that by these trade offices, we identify business opportunities, we provide information for the Spanish companies, we analyze the market, and we are capable of implementing activities of promotion. Particularly, as you mentioned, with big events, I think that Middle East is a very interesting region in which building information management is very relevant. It's the biggest region in the world implementing BIM, and that's why it's a challenging market. So those Spanish companies are attending, and those which will attend to the Middle East market have to be high tech, have to be competitive, and have to provide a service which is reliable and tailor-made to the client, adapted to the futures of the Middle East market, which I believe that we will be ready, we will be capable of transmitting this challenge, and we are ready to provide, to build a bridge with players like your podcast and with the relevant players in the region to provide the information, and also, why not, to build alliances, strategic alliances, in which they come to Construmat as visitors and as exhibitors to identify relevant partners.
I absolutely agree 1,000,000%, and the ICEX offices are doing a tremendous, amazing job in the rest of the world, and especially in the Middle East, because I lived in Saudi Arabia and I've been living 14 years in Dubai, helping Spanish companies start and develop their business in the region, and I can see the impact that you and your team are doing over there. And I think, as you mentioned, the opportunity for Middle Eastern companies and also worldwide global companies to come and attend Construmat, it would be of a great value for both parties, actually, to build strategic alliances and learn from the industry, and also to network with great thought leaders like yourself and the rest of the CEOs and architects and innovators in the Spanish sector. So we'll come to a point now where we'd like to ask you certain questions about yourself to get to know more Mr. Jose Ignacio.
Who I am, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
So, first question, what is your favorite dish?
I would say that my favorite dish is fish. And we have a delicious cuisine. We are a privileged country. I have to say that we are fish is part of our diet all over the country, and I would say that that's why I love fish.
Excellent. And are you a good cook?
Not so, no, not bad, but but I would like to cook other fish, other dishes like paella, for example. I'm not so so talented. I was born in Madrid, so I can cook other things. But particularly fish in Madrid is the biggest market in Spain. This is an irony.
I heard that
Yeah,
because it's one of the richest cities, all of the best product goes there.
well, particularly because it's the biggest market. So most of from Galicia, which is the north west of Spain, but also from the Mediterranean Sea, from the Mediterranean beaches. But it's true.
Wonderful.
But Barcelona has also excellent restaurants and gastronomy, very powerful gastronomy.
Absolutely, indeed.
And so everyone coming to Construmat will enjoy the delicacies of Barcelona cuisine.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite cities and full of my favorite restaurants. Let's come to another point, which is music. Who is your favorite artist or band?
Well, Peter Gabriel
Genesis.
and Queen.
And Freddie Mercury,
Yes.
of course.
Well, in the classic music, Mozart
That's amazing.
and Prokofiev as well. More than.
And what about TV, like TV series or movies? What's your favorite?
Well, I don't watch so much TV as now. Only maybe the series. And well, I like recently, for example, Better Call Saul is one of the recent ones, and or others like The Wire or Sopranos. There are some Spanish series, but I could mention, but maybe they are not so well known for your audience.
Okay. And what about books?
Well, definitely Don Quixote, which I managed to read on the Trans-Siberian train. I mean, there are so many there are so much time there that I could read Don Quixote, and 10 Years of Loneliness by Nobel Prize Garcia Marquez from Colombia, for example.
Yeah. What about your favorite designer or architect, speaking of the industry?
Michelangelo can be one of the most influential ones, and coming later on, I have an influence. I mean, I'm a Spaniard and therefore influenced by Spanish architects, and I can say that, for example, Gaudí can be one of the biggest examples of the architecture.
He was a genius.
But others can be like Frank Gehry or...
Who is your role model?
Well, I don't think I have one.
Okay.
Well, my parents definitely influenced me a lot, both from different perspectives. I mean, the modesty and the capacity of integrating people of my mother, and my father was a really thorough and with integrity person. But from the most popular people, well, other people like for example, Nadal from the tennis is
Of course,
an
yeah.
example, or the Marc Gasol, or in football, somehow the combination. I mean, so many people who have combined talent with like Zidane, or mostly, or I mean other players, Real Madrid players mostly. I can mention.
Now we'll come to a very tricky question, and it's our last question. What is your favorite city?
Really, it is tricky because it's complicated to say one place in the world, which is, I mean, there are so many beautiful places in the world. Maybe at global level, I would mention Rome, but in Spain there are so many beautiful cities, and we have quite a significant history, which enables us to travel to beautiful cities, not only Barcelona, which is definitely beautiful, other middle-sized cities, mostly related to universities, for example, Santiago de Compostela, which is part of the St. Jacques Way, is the end. I mean, it's the end, the final destination. Salamanca is a beautiful city full of history with Spanish philosophers, and Granada, which is, beautiful. There is no single place in La Alhambra where it's impossible to take a bad picture from La Alhambra.
Indeed, absolutely. Jose Ignacio, I cannot thank you enough for your time and for the valuable information and insight you shared with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
What about the final thoughts to leave us with?
Well, I think that Construmat is worthwhile visiting Construmat for any expert or businessman in the building industry, in the construction industry, as architect, or anyone will find ideas, will find people with whom interact in the same level, with the same language, and also listening alternatives, which is also important to contrast opinions. And particularly, I can say that ICEX, as the Spanish Trade Support Organization, is available to anyone, any of visitors or potential visitors, and can encourage people to visit or to exhibit in Construmat.
That is wonderful. Thank you again, Jose Ignacio, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.